the song with your heart. Play the song with your heart.
All right, let's get to the NBA. So we have some NBA playoff games to react to. Off rip, I did a quick little reaction to Game 2 of the Timberwolves versus the Nuggets. Obviously, everybody knows the Timberwolves are up 2-0. They won both road games against the Nuggets, which is a complete shocker to me. I didn't expect this series to be this lopsided. I knew that the Timberwolves could match up with the Nuggets pretty well because I knew they had perimeter defenders, they have size, they have all the things you need in order to match up against the Nuggets. But I thought ultimately the team with the better IQ, the team with the better player, the team that better execute in the fourth quarter will come up, and prevail. And ultimately that wasn't the way. I'm not gonna lie, this series right now, I don't think the Nuggets can win. I think because here's the thing. It's not like there's a lack of just execution. There's the Nuggets, they just, for whatever reason, there's no sense of urgency or anything like that. No, it's just one team is just more athletic, fast, jump higher. That's really what it is. They have more, they're just a lot of guys are, they have a lot of very tall. Like everybody's like at least 6'4". That's what it is. Like it's just better dudes. That's just what it is. It's not like, oh, this team, like they're just not executing better. Like they just have the better dudes at the end of the day, and they have a good coaching staff on the Timberwolves. They have a lot of very smart players. They have some veterans on there as well. They haven't won a championship, but they've been in playoff games before. They're hungry to get one, and they have that superstar in Anthony Edwards.
Yep.
So I look at it from that perspective, and I say to myself, the Nuggets aren't in trouble, and I don't see them coming out of this.
I would have to agree. I think, especially if they lose this next game, it's Jover.
Oh, yeah.
Like, because no team has ever come back down 3-0, as far as I know. I don't think it's ever happened. Mm-hmm. But yeah, even if they do split at Minnesota, it's still be a 3-1 series. So, and I don't think the Nuggets this team ain't equipped for it. I thought it was going to be. I thought the Timberwolves was going to put up a fight, but they just been beating them up.
Mm-hmm.
Like Jamal Murray is in Rikers Island, Guantanamo Bay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Shoe program, 24-hour lockdown. It's just crazy, man. They got dudes to cover pretty much everybody on the Nuggets, and it's scary because they ain't even have Rudy Gobert the last game. Defensive Player of the Year, Rudy Gobert. Mm-hmm. He was in the hospital probably.
Yeah, he was in the hospital seeing his kid.
Well, his flight got delayed, so he probably went back to the hospital.
Yeah,
but
you're probably right.
Yeah, but still, it was like, man, it's just they can't do nothing with him out there. Jokic, he can try his best, but if your dudes ain't showing up,
right.
It seems like to me the only way Nuggets win some games is if the Timberwolves have a bad night, because defensively, dog,
they're ferocious.
Oh my goodness, I'm like, how are you supposed to score on these dudes? Like, they rotating everything so perfectly, cutting off pass lanes. I'm like, yo, this is like a defensive masterclass here.
Somebody compared them to the Detroit Pistons of the early 2000s, and I can't disagree enough.
Like, they are everywhere. Like, and they're not missing assignments and stuff. Like, the Nuggets have to work for every single bucket this series, and it's like it just shows, and it's like, man, it's like overwhelming pressure.
Nikola Jokic looks human.
Yeah,
I'm completely shocked because the second game specifically, he was not good at all. Him and Jamal Murray were not good at all. I think Naz Reid, whenever Naz Reid was guarding somebody, they were like 0-13. These guys are doing their damnness to not allow the Nuggets to get anything going. They look like the faster, stronger, taller, more athletic team, and that's the reason why they're winning right now. I look at the Nuggets, and they remind me of the Spurs of old. But the thing with the Spurs, they were never the most athletic. They were never the most talented. They were the smartest. And when you go up against a team that is athletic, that is tall, that has guys, that has depth, guys that can put the ball in the basket, and then they're pretty smart as well, you're going to get the Oklahoma City Thunder with Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, and James Harden. You're going to get teams like that that are super athletic that can prevent anything you're trying to do. And this is the case. I just think this is I'm glad. I'm happy. I'm happy that the Timberwolves are doing this because one, F Jamal Murray, F Jamal Murray, he ended our season, ended my Lakers season, and Toronto's not looking good right now, so I'm happy about that. You know what I'm saying? Nikola Jokic, he keeps making these crazy ass shots. It's not happening against the Timberwolves. It's not sweet no more. Jamal Murray, all those step-back shots that you were doing, all those fadeaway shots that you were doing against the Lakers, against D'Angelo Russell and Austin Reeves, you can't do that against Anthony Edwards. You can't do that against gilgeous-alexander. You can't do that against all these other dudes. It's not sweet no more. These brothers can defend. These brothers are tenacious. These brothers are athletic.
Yep.
You're not playing against the Lakers guards. You're not playing against those dudes that probably can't bench 225. These are real live killers. Come on now.
Yeah, Nuggets not winning many games. You go out there and shoot 34% from the field as a unit. It's just not happening.
Right.
Jamal Murray 3 for 18. Are you kidding, brother?
Oh my God, man! It's just.
Then you're throwing heat packs. You crashing out, throwing heat packs on the court,
and he didn't get suspended at all. That blows my mind. The NBA they just trying to help him no matter what way they can. Mike Malone didn't get ejected. I've seen coaches get ejected for much worse.
Yeah. But the ref was kind of tripping though.
Yeah.
To be fair,
I don't know what was going on, but
honestly, this is your theory about the Nuggets is starting to play out.
What did I say?
When you said Jokic is the bus, but Jamal Murray has to drive the bus.
I said he's the engine.
Yeah, he's the engine.
You
Whatever.
got it. Right.
Yeah, so as long as Jamal Murray ain't showing up, they ain't got no chance.
Yeah, because obviously against the Lakers, we were a dumb team.
It doesn't
matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if Jamal Murray doesn't show up.
I had my doubts about the Nuggets because how close them Lakers games was.
Did you know that this is the first time the Nuggets, in Jokic, in the 2020s, I think it is, that
they're playing a
50 win plus team? Ain't that something?
Yeah.
So this entire time, I just ignored it. I didn't realize just how beneficiary the Nuggets have been last year with the playoffs. Because let's face it, last year's playoffs, the talent wasn't that great. Sure, okay, you played LeBron, you played AD, but they were hurt, and then they're playing, and then the people around them aren't that good. You play the Suns, you have Devin Booker and Kevin Durant. Who else? Seriously? Who else? Monty Williams was the coach? Come on now. And then you played the Timberwolves. They didn't have Nas Reed. They were still relatively new. They weren't really there yet. They still needed a couple of pieces. And then you go to the finals. You play the Miami Heat. We already knew, okay, they were 8th seed. They were not supposed to be there, and they didn't have the requisite talent to compete with the Nuggets. They lose Bruce Brown. They lose Jeff Green. They don't really have much of a bench. I should have expected this more. I thought it would go to 7, but the way it's playing out, it makes sense. They ran it back. They thought they can continue to go on this surge. The West got a lot better.
Yeah.
And now we see things play out the way it is. The Nuggets they're not talented enough. They don't have enough pieces in order to compete with these younger, more athletic teams like the Timberwolves. And when you have a team that's very smart, that's coached well, and that has the athletes, this is what's going to happen. And so that's the way that I look at it. And salute to the Timberwolves. I really want them to go to the finals.
Yes, I do.
Really do.
I do.
Because I see a team up in Boston that can be had.
Oh, yeah, easily.
And we're going to talk about that a little bit later. But, yeah, man, do you think this is going to be a sweep?
No.
Think it's going to be a gentleman's sweep?
Or 6.
I'll say the way that it's looking, I'll give it 5.
That's fair.
I'll give it 5.
I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt.
I give it 1 game. I think what's going to happen, I think they win 2 nights.
Tonight?
Yeah, I think
I
the
was
Nuggets
thinking
win
that
tonight.
too.
Because I believe they're going to be very focused. Even with Rudy Gobert coming back, I think they're going to be laser focused. They're going to really want to try to tie it up. But ultimately, I think Game 4, the Nuggets are going to, not the Nuggets, the Timberwolves, they're going to really do their due diligence and say, all right, we man, they're not better than us. What we doing? We tripping right now. And I think Ant Edwards, he's going to have a master class, and they're just going to prevail and go up 3-1 on them and then go back at home, and they're going to win that game. I'm just dumbfounded at the way that this series has looked so far. Losing both your home games.
That's terrible.
Man.
Not only lose, you got punked your second home game.
Yeah, and you're the number 2 seed. It's not like they're the 5th seed and they're playing the number 1 seed or whatever, or you're the 4th seed and you're playing the 5 seed. Like, you're the number 2 seed. You're supposed to be really, really good. You're supposed to be a championship contender. You were the favorites to win the championship, and you're getting punked like this? Did not see it.
I ain't see this coming.
Yeah. Let's go to some other matchups. I want to go to OKC versus Dallas. Last night, Dallas tied it up. They were able to steal one on the road. I saw that game.
I saw it too.
I thought Dallas did a really good job defensively. I think one of the problems with OKC, they relied too heavily on a three-point shot. I think they were taking too many threes. I think Chet Holmgren, he was relying too much.
Yeah,
on the
I was
line.
like, you're 7 feet tall.
What was your reaction to the game? What was your reaction so far to the series?
So at the game 1, when the Thunder won, like, I still wasn't too convinced on the Thunder.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know, it's just like, I don't think Kyrie had a great game.
Yeah.
That for game 1. And I was like, it didn't really feel like they were dominant. They didn't feel like, this doesn't feel like the 1 seed that I'm watching with the Thunder. And I don't know it's because of youth but I just don't get that feel from them. And then the freaking Mavs just came in game 2, pretty much controlled it from tip off to the end of the game.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, this is what I thought was going to happen eventually. And they stole one on the road. And I'm not sure OKC gets one in Dallas, truthfully. So we might be looking at 3-1 going back to OKC for game 5. And this is going, I don't know if I said Mavs in 7 or Mavs in 6. I can't remember. But I had the Mavs winning the series, and if it continues to go this way, it's gonna happen like that.
I have Mavs. I predicted Mavs in 6. I think for me personally, it's gonna come down to Luka's health. If Luka, because I think he's dealing with some knee issue,
something like that.
If Luka can't dominate on the scale that he did last night, even with the whole knee issue, he was still able to get whatever he wants. If he can't consistently produce for the team, they're not going to win. It all comes down to Luka. Luka is the wild card in all of this. If he's not playing well, OKC's going to win. Because the first game he didn't play well. You could tell he was laboring some type of injury. But then the second game rolls around, and even though he was still dealing with the injury, he was still productive. He had a near triple-double. It's going to come down to Luka at the end of the day. And I'm still going to go with Mavs in 6. This was an important game for them, stealing one on the road against OKC. Not having them feel like they have the momentum is a good sign. I think Mavs, as long as Luka is healthy, I have to put that disclaimer on there. As long as Luka is healthy and he's able to dominate, I believe the Mavs are going to protect home court. I think OKC will get a winner, on their home court at Game 5, and I think Dallas closes out in 6. That's how I look at it, because I think Luka, he knows how to maneuver past this injury, just the way that he was looking the last game. Like, it looked like I remember it was like in the fourth quarter, and he pulled something, and he was hopping on one leg, and all of a sudden the next play rolls around, he gets the ball, he does a between the legs step back, and he swishes it. I'm like, how is that possible? It just amazes me.
Different.
It just amazes me.
I'm looking at the box score. PJ Washington went 7 for 11 from 3. That's unacceptable.
So
Kyrie only took 8 shots. Oh my goodness.
So yeah, that's my thing. It comes down to Luka's health. I think I'll say this though. OKC. My problem with OKC last game, I already mentioned it, but like just the relying too much on the 3-point shooting. Utilize your size. You're a pretty tall team. You're a pretty athletic team. Like, Jalen Williams is a mismatch nightmare for them. They have no answer for Jalen Williams.
Well, they took less threes than Dallas.
Yeah, but like the threes that they were attempting, a lot of it was contested, and they weren't able to get to a rhythm.
Chet had 6 3-pointers. Why is the center leading the team in 3-point attempts?
I don't know. It's just a lot of bad shots, a lot of bad, ill-advised shots. They never felt like they could get in a flow. The offense felt very stagnant. It just didn't look, and you have to contribute a lot of that to the Mavs defense, but they just felt out of sorts. They felt like they didn't know what to do. There wasn't no adjustment made to try to counter whatever the Mavs were doing defensively. And that's my problem with OKC. Maybe they'll get it together the next game. Shea still had a phenomenal game. He's going to do his thing this series. They have no answer for Shea. But in terms of the other guys, the Chets, the Jalen Williams, I think they don't have an answer for Jalen Williams either. But everybody else, they have to play better. They have to take better shots in order to like really win this game, because what they did out last night was inexcusable. Like, you can't do that, man. That was horrible. The offense was just all over the place. It felt like an AAU game almost. Seriously, like that was just awful. But yeah, that's just what I wanted to mention that series. Let's go to the next series.
Ain't it fun? Well, never mind.
What were you gonna say?
No, I was gonna say something, but it was about to be false info.
All right. I want to talk about the other game that happened last night. Another series I wasn't really too invested in.
Me either.
But now I am. The Celtics versus the Cavs. This game was odd to me, because the Celtics were at home. They're the much better team. And you get cooked by like over 20 points. With 5 minutes remaining, your fans just walked out. This game made no sense to me. I know Porzingis is out, but that doesn't mean that the Celtics still don't have an advantage. Like, they have a far bigger advantage than the Cavs. And the Cavs just, Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland, Evan Mobley, they were doing whatever they wanted last night.
Yeah. Donovan Mitchell was giving him the business.
That third quarter, I don't know if you watched the third quarter. Bro.
I might have been doing something.
He had 23 points in like the second half.
Oh.
Bro, that third quarter, the stuff he was doing, he was in his bag. He was looking like Gilbert Arenas out there. When Gilbert Arenas, if you guys ever seen Gilbert Arenas when he's hot, that was Donovan Mitchell. Like, he was pulling out all the moves. Like, he was crossing over, step back three. He was getting in the lane, doing Euro step late. Like, he was doing everything. He like in 2K where you have the takeover.
Mm-hmm.
That was what he was doing in the third quarter. Like, it was, his shot making was incredible, and they had no answer for it. I just don't understand, like, the Celtics. How can you have these like mental lapses like this? Like, you're the far superior team. Why is a team that is way below you just completely dominating the game like this on the road?
Who did the Celtics play last round?
They played the Miami Heat.
Didn't they lose game 2?
They did. They did.
Maybe they just suck during game 2s. I don't know.
But that just goes to show why I can't trust them to win a championship. It's because there's these cracks that I see from them. I see Jason Tatum, and he's not playing well in the playoffs right now. I see that although they won in 5 last series, that game 2 is just like, how can you let that happen at your home court? And then last night, the same thing. How do you let this happen on your home court, where your fans just feel the need to leave with 5 minutes remaining on your home court in the play? This is not no regular season game, bro. This is the playoffs. This is the second round. This is game 2 at home. And you allow that team to do that to you? Evan Mobley has no bag. He has one move. And you allow him to look like Chris Bosh out there. You allow him to cook you guys. I'm speechless. I can't explain it. If I was a Celtics fan, I would be disgusted.
Yeah, pretty much everybody on the Cavs had a good game. Karis LeVert give you 21 off the bench. Come on, son.
I don't get it. I just don't get the Celtics, man. They're an enigma.
They didn't even have Jared Allen either.
They had 29 from Mitchell, who shot very efficiently. They had 21 from Mobley, 21 and 10 from Mobley. Isaac Okoro had 12 points on 5 for 6 shooting. Isaac Okoro, he's not good. Matt Strus had 12 points on 5 for 10 shooting. Darius Garland had 14, but he shot 4 for 5 from 3, and he was 5 from 8 from the field. 21 from Karis LeVert. I'm looking at Boston. Jason Tatum had 25 points on 41% shooting. Come on now, man. Jaylen Brown had 19 on 41% shooting. Derek White had 10 points on 3-4. Nobody was getting it going on the Celtics. I just don't, man, they just, yeah. I don't get it, man. I don't get this team. I don't.
The Celtics, they're beneficiaries of weaker conference.
Pretty much.
Because you look at this roster, especially their bench, and it's like
it's god awful.
Why is Peyton Pritchard getting all these playoff minutes? Like, that's an issue. That's a team building issue.
Mm-hmm. Look at Drew Holiday.
Like, Peyton Pritchard should not be your number one guy off the bench.
Look at Drew Holiday stats, bro. 4 points. You paid that man. What is it? What was the extension? It was over 100 M's.
It was a good amount.
It was a good amount. Dude, like 34. You paying him all that money, he give you 4 points.
Used to do that crap with the Bucks too. I ain't forget.
Man, they're gonna win the series. I expect them to just clean sweep the Cleveland Cavaliers from here on out. But it's just like there's these games in the playoffs where you're just looking at them. It's like, where's the urgency?
And then some teams, you better not drop no home game against the Timberwolves.
That's why whoever makes it out the West,
$135 million extension for Drew Holiday.
Damn, that's a lot of money. That's gonna be the worst contract in the league in a few years. Shoot,
I don't know, Bradley. As long as Bradley Beal's still in the league.
I don't know. I mean, he's Drew Holiday, 34.
Brad ain't that far from it.
He's like 30. At least
I think he's 31, actually.
31. All right, he got 3 years on him. Shit, Drew Holiday, 34, bro. But regardless, yeah, man.
Bradley Beal's 30. He'll be 31 June 28.
Let's talk about some other series. We got the Knicks versus Pacers. I'll say this. Tom Thibodeau, this dude trying to run his players to the ground.
I hate the officiating going on in this series.
Oh, yeah.
It's just ref ball. I'm like, oh, my goodness, let these dudes play.
You know, the Pacers, they sent the league 78 missed calls from, I think it was from game 2. I'm like, 78 missed calls? Somebody's capping. 78 missed calls? What are you gonna say? Oh, this guy carried? You know what I
don't know, but
78 missed calls, that means they probably counting carries, they probably counting travels. Like, come on now.
Every moving screen possible.
Yes.
I'll say Halliburton had a good game the last game. Salute to him because he's been playing like boo-boo these entire playoffs. But I don't know, man. Like the Pacers, whether you like it or not, the league, as far as the officiate goes, the league is the league, and money is going money.
They're conspiring with the Knicks.
No, I'm just saying they're not going to get the benefit of the doubt.
Okay.
Over New York, you kidding me? When was the last time the Knicks was in the Eastern Conference Finals?
That was 99. Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm sorry, Pacers. Y'all was cooked from the beginning. Y'all wasn't stealing no games in New York, I'll tell you that much.
Oh, man. This series just screams Knicks in 5.
Yeah.
The
Pacers are playing better than I expected. I thought the Nuggets, I said Nuggets, the Knicks was just going to go in there and just demolish them. But no, they've been playing, they've been keeping up with them.
You know what frustrates me about the Knicks is that they're holding on for dear life. These players, bro, Jalen Brunson, he's dealing with an injury. OG, he's going to be out for game 3. Like they're holding on for dear life. So when the Celtics face the Knicks, you're gonna get a injured, rattled team. They're gonna be tired by the time they play the Celtics. I'm like, man, this is so rigged. Like, I can't believe this.
Josh Hart played 48 minutes.
Yes. Just. He putting too much miles in these freaking tires. Tom Thibodeau, war crimes. I wouldn't be surprised if like stars don't want to go to New York because of that. Because you have to play 48 minutes. Because you have to guard your defender for 48 minutes. There's no just time where you can rest. You have to. It's always like 100%. Intensity. Like, bro, you're not going to be able to win like that long term. You just, like, nope. I'm going to play like 2K. I'm going to have my best guys out there for 48 minutes. It does not matter.
Yep. 7 dudes, we're going to just play y'all.
And he's playing Josh Hart like 50 minutes, like overtime. He's playing him 55 minutes. I'm like, bro, this dude probably tired as hell. But he doesn't complain. Villanova guys don't complain. You know, they just put their head down. They go to work. They're blue collar and stuff.
Josh Hart, that's the role player every team wish they had.
We had him.
I don't understand how he's so short but get so many rebounds. 15 rebounds.
Effort, man. Effort, understanding where the ball is going to bounce off the rim. That's just like Dennis Rodman said on The Last Dance. He was like, here. This way, that way, here. Like, you know, like that's just maybe he studied from Dennis Rodman. Who knows? But this series screams Knicks in 5. As long as Jalen Brunson is playing, I don't see Indiana Pacers winning this game. And do we need to put Rick Carlisle on fraud watch?
I don't know.
He's been getting away with a lot of stuff recently. I heard. His that ring, that one ring, that 2011 ring is looking kind of
funny in the light.
It's looking kind of dated right now. You know what I'm saying? It's got a lot of dust on it. just like with Doc Rivers in that 2008 ring, it's got a lot of dust on it.
Yeah, he has been not living up to expectations these past. Yeah, It's like the Pacers aren't playing bad per se. It's just the Knicks are playing. First of all, Miles Turner, you JP lookalike, you went 3 for 11 from the field as a center. That's unacceptable.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, as a center, that's unacceptable.
Yeah, man.
Siakam only. How you get 14 points on 18 shots? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, this team just, I mean, they're there. They're in the game, but it's like, do you really think they're going to somehow win it? It reminds me of my team. Like, we're there. We're in the game, but we know how this is going to end.
Yeah.
That's just what it reminds me of. Like, the Knicks are going to give it to Jalen Brunson, like give the ball to Jalen Brunson, and he's going to figure out a way to score, and they're going to win the game because for whatever reason, the Pacers just don't know how to execute down the stretch. And that's just that. That's just the way I'm looking at it. They're competing. They're competitive. They're in every game, but ultimately, I don't see them really as a serious threat.
Yeah.
You know,
Not right now, at least.
No, not right now.
Not this year.
No, not this year. But they're making strides. You know, you bring in Halliburton, you make the playoffs with the 6th seed. That's good. But
You at least make a move before the trade deadline, getting Siakam.
which he maybe need just another year him to get acclimated in the offense. But he hasn't been what he should have been. You know, when he was in Toronto, where he was like an all-star, all-NBA player. So yeah, Knicks in 5 again. Last game was it? Are those all the games?
I think so.
Oh, that's all the games.
Yeah, we round 2. It's getting slimmer and slimmer.
Yeah, it's getting slimmer and slimmer. All right, well, that'll do it for the NBA playoffs. All right, so the Suns fired Frank Vogel. He got scapegoated. He didn't deserve to lose his job, but he accepted the job. He knew what he was getting himself into. They didn't have the necessary personnel that worked with his system. So it's just a bad look, bro. Well, first of all, what is your reaction to Frank Vogel getting fired?
I had a feeling this was gonna happen, like you said earlier. You said if they don't win or get to the finals, he was pretty much gone. Because in the GM's mind or the ownership mind, they probably like, we gave you 3 stars to work with. But in reality, in basketball reality, everybody knew from the day that Brad Beal got signed and the roster was still garbage. That was like, they're cooked. They're not getting past the second round because you just don't have the depth to go deep in the playoffs. And if they had to make somebody the scapegoat, and Frank Vogel, you just so happen to be that guy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they said we got to do something here.
Mm-hmm.
So they said, well, get rid of Frank Vogel. But then not only is that bad enough, Mike Budenholzer,
I know, right?
the guy who's notorious for not adjusting mid-game. So you got rid of Frank Vogel to bring in Frank Vogel 1.5.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know.
I think
that was silly.
I think what it is.
They're going to lose the fan base at this rate because they were
yeah.
so quick to blow up a championship roster, all because DeAndre Ayton was disgruntled at times.
Yeah,
and they were so quick to blow it. Got rid of Chris Paul. Got rid of Mikal Bridges. I was like, what is going on here? But hey, if that's what the fans gonna start asking questions. Y'all gonna have to start answering to these fans because they seeing what's happening. They not stupid.
What can you say?
Yeah, they not stupid. They not slow.
Mm-hmm. Here's the thing, because I think what the Suns are looking for, they're looking for an offensive-minded coach. I'll say this about Budenholzer: he does have a system. He does understand offense, but like you mentioned, the adjustment part of it all, he doesn't make any adjustments. Again, we saw it. It was a 4K. I mean, against the Toronto Raptors in 2019, he made no adjustments. Like it was.
We saw it in 2022.
Like I remember in 2019, one of the most egregious things I witnessed was the fact that he kept playing Eric Bledsoe all those minutes in that series when everybody knew that George Hill was the better option.
Mm-hmm.
We were like bench him and put George Hill in the starting lineup. Because George Hill stretches the floor, he can shoot. He's not a bad defender at all. He can still defend at that point. But he was like, I'm still playing Eric Bledsoe. And the whole argument was, well, his confidence is going to be wavered. Like, this is the playoffs. This is the conference finals. This is a chance for the NBA finals. Who the hell gives a crap about Eric Bledsoe's confidence? And then the 2022... it was against Boston. Was that the series? He had a problem there. Even though they made it to Game 7, he still wasn't able. If he was smart enough, if he was like Eric Spoelstra, when it came to adjustment, they could have beaten Boston, but they weren't able to. And they fired him afterwards.
They fired him after 2023.
Oh yeah, because they lost to the Miami Heat in round 1, which was egregious. Yeah, that was very embarrassing. Albeit Giannis was hurt for like, he was hurt the entire series, but still like losing a 5 against an 8 seed. it just doesn't look doesn't look good, especially since you have a top 5 defensive team. The offense wasn't really that good. It was really the defense that was carrying. The offense wasn't really well. So your calling card was offense, and the offense wasn't good at all. So that's just a bad look. I want to talk about Kevin Durant in the situation.
Okay.
Because this is the second coach that got scapegoated on his watch. The first one was Kenny Atkinson. Matter of fact, I take that back. This is the third coach. The first one was Kenny Atkinson. Kevin Durant and Kyrie said, we don't want Kenny Atkinson. We want Steve Nash. Horrible mistake. They bring in Steve Nash after Steve Nash, like, what he had, a year and a half? They fired him? So, okay. They bring in Jock Vaughn. Kevin Durant asked for a trade. He goes to Phoenix. All right. Monty Williams. I'm not going to put that on Kevin Durant because Kevin Durant got traded to the team. Monty Williams, players didn't really have much respect. DeAndre Ayton, etc. All right. I'm not going to put that on Kevin Durant. Frank Vogel comes in. I mean, we saw the article, the Shams article. Kevin Durant wasn't feeling the system. He wasn't feeling standing in the corner. You know?
Yeah.
So, another head coach, Kenny Atkinson. I ain't gonna lie. Steve Nash was trash. Kenny Atkinson and Frank Vogel were scapegoated. They were scapegoated. They were blamed for a situation they had no control over. And this was on Kevin Durant's watch. Now, Kevin Durant wasn't playing. I will say that. But he still had a lot of control with the Brooklyn Nets. Kyrie Irving was not the man in charge. It was Kevin Durant. And he allowed Kenny Atkinson to get scapegoated. Even though the team was hurt, the team was not built to win because because Kevin Durant got hurt and Kyrie Irving kept getting injured. So this is the second coach where Kevin Durant has been in between a messy situation. Just tell me like your thoughts on that. Like just the fact that Kevin Durant just seems to find himself in these predicaments.
Well, when you go to bat and vouch for a guy like Bradley Beal to join your team and have input on how the roster should be built, I mean, what did you think was going to happen? You want to be involved in the offense, but Kevin Durant, this is supposedly Devin Booker's team. He's supposed to be the centerpiece of the offense. And I don't know, man. It's just, I don't know. I don't know what's up with that dude.
I just look at the situation, and I think you bring up a good point about the personnel and the fact that he wanted Bradley Beal, which was a horrible decision. Like, horrible, because Bradley Beal, if you watch him in Washington, you can see there's a decline. The 20 points per game that smoke screen. Like, watch him. He's not good. He's not what he once was with Russell Westbrook.
Bradley Steele, I tried to tell him.
He wasn't as good with John Wall. So the fact that he decided, you know what, I want that guy, even though he's declining, it's a bad look. And then in Brooklyn, I don't know if it was also Kevin Durant who said this, but the whole thing about DeAndre Jordan, wanting to play him more minutes. Kenny Atkinson was like, hell no, DeAndre Ayton is cooked food.
Jordan.
I keep bringing up Ayton. Even though DeAndre Ayton wasn't good for the Suns as well. But DeAndre Jordan, like, and then he gets scapegoated. It's like he was there during that time as well. And something happened to the coach on his watch. I said this before, I'm going to say this again. Kevin Durant is going to regret leaving Golden State. That structure, having Steph Curry, having Clay, having Draymond, having a great coach, he's going to regret leaving that place. Because I remember there was like rumblings, there was like rumors of Kevin Durant not liking the Warrior system a whole lot. The way that they play, he wants to play a lot more one-on-one ball. He doesn't want to play in a structure like that where, you know, they move the ball. It's a lot more running plays. It's a lot more different actions and stuff like that. I remember there was conversations about that, rumors about that after he left. And
I mean, it could be true because, I mean, when you look at the systems he's been playing on after that, it's like playground hoops. It's like cook your man offense. Like, that's not winning basketball.
no, it's not. Like you like
It didn't work in OKC.
no.
Then you went to the Warriors where it did work. You wasn't really feeling it. Then you went to Brooklyn, didn't work. Now you want the Suns, it's still not working.
I don't get Kevin Durant because I thought the whole thing about going to Golden State was I want to go to a team that passes the ball, that moves the ball, that's not playing a lot of isolation ball. But then you go there and then as you're leaving, you complain about it. I don't get it. And then you go to these other teams and you're playing isolation ball and it's not working. So what is it, Kevin Durant? Like, I don't understand his thought process at all. I don't get it. What do you believe is winning basketball? Because it's clear as day when you were in Golden State, that was winning basketball. But then I'm hearing rumors that you didn't like the system. So what is it you're trying to say? Like, what do you really believe in is my thing. I don't know if the reports are misinterpreting what you're saying or anything like that, but if the system that you were in Brooklyn has you playing a lot more isolation ball and the system you are in Phoenix has you playing a lot more isolation ball, and then when you were OKC, the system you were in played a lot of isolation ball, I'm assuming you have some sort of control with the type of system that your team is running. That's just the way I'm looking at it because 3 out of the 4 places is a lot of heavy isolation. So when you go to Golden State, it's more so moving the ball, cutting, you know what I mean? Like off-ball action. While when you're in Brooklyn, while you're in OKC, while you're with Phoenix, it's not like that. And that's my thing.
You know
with
what
Kevin
I truly
Durant.
think Kevin Durant wants? I think Kevin Durant wants a playmaking point guard that can create looks for him. Because you look at his previous teams, like, yeah, Steph can play make, but it's mostly like the system is getting him open. Like, you know, Russell Westbrook, he was like really the last like playmaker he really played with. Like Harden, he could pass the ball, but like it's too many cooks in the kitchen in that Brooklyn system. Mm-hmm. And Kyrie, he's more of a scorer.
He's definitely a scorer.
So he probably just wants. And, you know, Booker, they tried to book at PG thing. It didn't really work. That's not Devin Booker's game. So what I think he really wants is a true playmaking point that can help him get easier looks and that can really initiate the offense. And he hasn't really had that.
How's he gonna find that? It's not. Really
and that also, and like that goes back to the roster building. You vouch for Bradley Beal, you could have got somebody else.
There's not too many guys like that, man. I can't really name you. Like, who is out there that's like that? There's no Chris Pauls anymore.
They had one, they got rid of him.
Old ass Chris Paul.
Mm-hmm.
There's not Chris Pauls anymore. I mean, Mike Conley, he's up there in age. He doesn't really handle the ball like that anymore. There's not many point guards like that anymore. All the point guards are like scoring guards, or they dominate the ball too much, like a Trae Young,
or
a LaMelo Ball,
or the guys that they're not like really star players, really. Like, you know, you got like the Tyus Joneses of the world and stuff.
Yeah,
like that.
yeah. So like a Mike Conley, a Tyus Jones. I don't know, man. I don't know, bro. I don't think he's gonna win another championship. I think this is.
Oh yeah, I don't think so.
Unless he goes to a ready-made team that's already breeding with talent, like an OKC, I just don't see him winning the championship. I just think this is his fate. Like, he won 2 rings with Golden State. He's the top 20 player all time, but everywhere he goes, it just seems like there's some sort of drama. He just never figures it out, and the coaching is just not equipped to handle him. And this is just the way it looks. I want to say this real quick before we go, because one thing I noticed is, number one, the Lakers, they have these coaching candidates that they're going to look for. They're going to look to. One of them was Charles Lee. He's an assistant coach for the Celtics. He got hired for the Hornets. And then there's other candidates for the Lakers. They have David Alverman he's the lead assistant for the Denver Nuggets. You have Mike Norrie. He's the lead assistant for the Timberwolves, who everybody is like pretty much love because just I hear he is heavily involved in the system, heavily involved in timeouts, late game situation. That is important. That's what you're looking for in a coach. And you also have you're still seeing like is Tyronn Lue going to get an extension or not, and Kenny Atkinson as well. He's a wild card. If I'm the Lakers, I think the coaches I really want to look to, obviously Tyronn Lue is number one. If he doesn't get an extension, if they let him go, I'm going after Tyronn Lue immediately. But then after that, let's say Tyronn Lue is not in the picture. I think Mike Norrie from the Timberwolves, I think he should be number one. First-year head coach, but because he is heavily involved in the offense, because he is heavily involved in the situationally that's going on with the Timberwolves, that's very important. That just lets me know that he's not just this players coach. Oh, he's not just this, the players just like him. He's this figurehead, per se, like Darvin Ham was. He actually understands the game. He actually knows how to run an offense, per se. And that's very important as a head coach. You don't just want a figurehead who he's a player's coach, but he doesn't understand how to make adjustments. He doesn't understand late game situations. That is very important. David Altman, obviously the Nuggets, Mike Malone, very smart, very high intelligence, high IQ. I like that name. Kenny Atkinson, I like Kenny Atkinson. I thought with Brooklyn, I liked their offense. With D'Angelo Russell there, he really took a team full of rejects, and they became a 6th seed, and they played really well. They played together. The offense was very good as well. I like Kenny Atkinson. He got hoed by freaking Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. That was not his fault at all. And one thing I like about Kenny Atkinson, he's going to back his players. He's a very intense coach. And I like that. I like a coach with personality. I like a coach that's willing to defend his players, unlike somebody on the Lakers who was taking shots and going on taking interviews with The Athletic and Shams Charania and taking shots at his former players. Like I like coaches like that. So those are my candidates for the Lakers. I like those coaches because I believe all those coaches can bring something that Darvin Ham never had, and that is an offense that will work for LeBron. I believe they understand X's and O's very well, and they'll bring just a different level of coaching that we have missed since Phil Jackson, for crying out loud. That's how long we've had just mediocre coaching. So I just wanted to say that real quick. Is there anything else you want to talk about? I know Shaq, for whatever reason, I don't know why the hell he's in his feelings over Shannon Sharpe. I mean, Shannon Sharpe has said it before on live television that Shaq didn't put 100% in trying to be the best, and Shaq even mentioned it himself. So I don't know why Shaq is tripping right now. I don't know if because of Cat Williams, the whole interview, and him saying, it's going to be a lot of people exposed this year. I don't know if he's just trying to keep that negative energy that I mentioned with when Xavier was there, like just this negativity, the rap beef is going on. I don't know if he's just searching for attention. I don't know what's going on with Shaq, but right now the shit felt random.
I don't know. I think he was more upset with Shannon's point before that than him saying he ain't take the work ethic thing.
Because he never said that Shaq didn't work hard. He just said, did you put your all into it? You know what I mean? Like, did he maximize his talent? And Shaq admitted it.
But it wasn't like Shaq had a lot of miles in Orlando by the time he got to the Lakers.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Regardless, I think that'll do it for today's episode. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment down below, hit the notification bell, follow the socials, and we'll see you guys on the next episode of Courtside Podcast. Thank you guys for watching, and peace. They not like us. They not like us. They not like us.
Just let me be me.